Public Service Week 2019 kicked off with Fun on the Beach on Long Bay Beach, Beef Island on the 27th of October. On the 28th of October, there was a Prayers for the Public Service and Employee Recognition Ceremony at Breezeway in the Central Administration Complex. On the 29th of October, there was a Public Service Going Green Parade that started from the Central Administration Complex to the Aos Holly Recreational Grounds. There was also cheerleading and field sports. On the 30th of October, there was a Wacky Day outfit competition with a green twist and a forum on a transformation plan for greening the public service. On the 31st of October, there was a Greening the Public Service competition, starting with the Green Your Reception area and a Public Service Week job swap. There was also indoor sports at the Save the Seed Energy Center. On the 1st of November, there was a Community Service Day with Going Green projects. And on the 2nd of November, there was a Retirees Dinner. The teams that were competing for Public Service Week 2019 were the Eagles, the Supersonics, the Warriors, and the Panthers. This year, the Warriors came out victorious, followed by the Supersonics, then the Eagles, then the Panthers. The theme for Public Service Week 2019 was One Team, Going Green for Public Service Week 2019.
Today is a good morning. Every day we can say is a good morning, but today in particular is a good morning. And for public officers across the territory, I always think when I get out of bed, don't get out of bed, jump out of bed. Jump out of bed because you've got a purpose. And you have a purpose to get out of bed. And whatever you believe, whatever inspires you, you have that purpose to get out of bed. You get out of bed as a public officer to come and do a job. But that's not why you get out of bed. You get out of bed because your purpose is the best purpose you could ever have in any job in the world. Your purpose is simply to make people's lives better. What an amazing purpose. Every single morning to think I'm getting out of bed to make people's lives better. How amazing that we have people who've been doing that for 10 years, for 25 years, for 35 years, making every single day people's lives better. That dedication, that commitment. People who, when everything gets thrown around, as we saw in the last couple of years, when everything gets thrown against you, when getting out of bed, you might even not even have had a bed at that point. When getting out seems difficult, still that purpose was, I'm getting out, I'm coming in, and I'm going to keep making people's lives better. So before I go on, can we just all applaud all of you, all public officers, for what you do? Because it's easy to forget when we get into work, and we sit down at the desk and we see the 100 emails, the 2,000 reports, the various things that fly. It's easy to forget that purpose. The purpose is to make people's lives better. And the public service does that in so many ways. From educating the future of our children, to our planning, how the territory looks, to developing economic futures, to keeping our nation healthy, to thinking about how we connect right across the territory, to thinking how we connect internationally, to keeping people safe and secure, to helping them in times of need and helping them succeed for times of good. All of that is down to what you do every single day. And we should never take that for granted. So this week is just 1 week, a very small week in what is actually an ongoing mission, an ongoing purpose. It's just 1 week to say thank you, to celebrate, to recognize, and to be reminded that when you get out of bed every single day to make people's lives better, actually it's important that we celebrate that and we recognize that. So I thank you for what you are doing and all that you have done. This territory simply wouldn't be where it is without the backbone of the public service, without the strength, the skills that we have in this territory. And I've worked across the world in many countries, and to the leadership team of the public service, the permanent secretaries, they would have heard me say this before. When I sit down with them, there's very few other people I would ever want to have in our team. The strengths we have, the talents we have, the commitment we have, the passion we have, we can do anything here as a public service, and we can take the territory even further.
I greet you in the wonderful name of Jesus Christ, our King, who I love deeply because he is merciful, not merciless. He is faithful and not faithless. He also balances what you would hear all the time in terms of complaints, but he also gives you compliments. It is good to be present among you public officers as I prepare in a few moments to be away from the territory. I love the theme, One Team Going Green. This theme to me means that the public service of the Virgin Islands is moving in one direction, one color, on a vision, green. You see, it will come as no surprise to you that I love green. Green is so fitting, not because it is one of my favorite colors, and not because it is the winning color of my team, the Eagles, and surely not because it is the leading color for the next 4 years. But rather because green is unique as it speaks to resilience, restoration, newness, and prosperity. Just look at the hills after Irma, and a few months later, when it turned green, hope was restored. Green speaks to new beginnings, flourishing, and growth. Green to me also means all of us, the public and private sector, working together to allow this territory to blossom into a thriving and prosperous democracy to usher in a modern BVI. It speaks to restoring trust and hope that requires your government, the people of this territory, and you, the members of the public service and private sector, working together, one as a hand, though we are separate as fingers. So this morning I stopped by here to leave you with a few words as we think about one team, one green, going green. I want to leave you with this 5-finger message as we spell out green. G is your thumbs up to remain goal-oriented. Despite what was and what is, I want you to stay laser-focused and work hard to achieve your personal and professional goals. This balance is essential, and here's why. This territory belongs to you and me and our children and their children. Many see this territory as a prize to be won, but we see it as home. So I want you always to be prepared for uncertainty, because it is in our personal and professional talents that we will continue to be a resilient people overcoming adversities. That's the thumb up. Now I want everyone to hold up your pointing finger. That's the index finger. So hold up your index finger. That's the index finger. Close all the other fingers. Now point the index finger in the direction where you see yourselves tomorrow. That finger represents R for resolute. Be determined. Remain firm in that decision. Don't try to fit into anyone's bubble. Instead, remain determined and unwavering, and I can assure you that in the end, you will surely be satisfied. Now, let us hold up our thumb and index finger and the middle finger all together. But be careful how you hold up the middle finger. But if we hold it in this direction, all together, pointing forward, you will see that it forms an E. E is for eager. As you think about a green public service and in turn a green BVI, I want you to remain eager and interested in making decisions in the greatest interest of the people and their future. Empowerment begins with you, and within you lies the desire and potential to create success. So I implore you to remain a keen, interested, and intense desire to be a better public service and a better BVI. Now add the ring finger and remove the thumb. Remove the thumbs up and you will see the next E, which stands for educated. As the BVI is being prepared to go green and remain green, let us read widely. Let us put those degrees and training to work for us. The public services are brain bank, and I have proven this over and over. Let no one tell you that you are not good enough to innovate your own economy, for within you lies the full comprehension of what was, what is, and what needs to be. Now your pinky finger, which is the shortest of all the 5 fingers, and it represents the work never failing. The spirit of our forefathers is that of progress and drive and never failing. This is who we are as a people, on or off the job. So when you hold up your entire palm, you will see how the pinky finger is hidden. It is the shortest by far, yet important to a strong grip. So I want you to remember to stay laser focused, even though we are all going through a transition. So this morning I want you to remember the thumb goal oriented, the index finger resolute, the middle finger eager, the ring finger educated, and the pinky finger for never failing. Now make a fist with your hand. That represents one team, one mission. So that although we are separate as fingers, let us remain one as a hand, so that we can punch the obstacles in our way, so that a greener BVI will be the order of the day. As the annual Public Service Week in the Virgin Islands continues on behalf of your government, I thank all public officers, whether they work in an office, ministry, department, unit, or statutory board, for your commitment and dedication to serve the needs of the people of the Virgin Islands. I congratulate in advance all those who will be recognized for 10, 25, or 35 years to continue, aspire, and inspire. Now I want everyone together to raise their fists. And I want you as a public service, the private sector, everybody, say that I declare that although we are separate as fingers, we're gonna work as one hand to punch our way to a brighter and greener BVI day. Thank you.
And for public officers who came out, you were here rather early like we asked. When Friday comes, take the next 2 days off, and then you can report, all right? Good. Does anyone know the song Chosen Generation? If you can know it, you can sing it in the back for me, please. Chosen Generation. Let me first say to our retirees, congratulations. Give them a round of applause, please. That's not good enough. When you have served 10 years, 15, 20, 25, and even more, you have to be recognized. You cannot expect us to recognize ourselves. Let's recognize our retirees, please. A little louder, a little louder. That's why we're here, right? And also to celebrate Public Service Week. One team, going green. Now, if you look at my outfit, you'll recognize that I'm not biased at all. Not because the sky's blue or the ocean's depth is more amazing when it's bluer. Not because. But if I show you your team colors, please give a round of applause for your team colors. Wait. Follow instructions. We warm up a little bit. When I show you your team colors, please clap. All right. Am I missing anything? Am I missing anything? What might I be missing? Awesome. So of course I will not be long, but I have a favorite song because I believe public officers, you are indeed the chosen generation because you implement policies. You shape the culture of a society, you respond, you listen, and if we do not tell you today, even though we were late, you've forgiven me, that you're a chosen generation, I will not have done my job as your deputy governor. Are you ready for the chosen generation?
We are a chosen generation.
Now, if you don't feel too angry, you can clap maybe.
Born for to show His excellence. All I require for life, God has given me. I know who I am. We are a chosen generation, called from to show His excellence. All I require for life, God has given me. I know who I am. I know who God says I am, what He says I am, where He says I'm at. I know who I am. I know who God says I am, what He says I am, where He says I'm at. I know who I am. I'm walking in power. I'm walking in miracles. I live a life of favor, 'cause I know who I am. I'm walking in power.
All
I'm
right.
walking in miracles. I live a life of favor, 'cause I know who I am. Oh,
As they bring this amazing song to an end,
I know who I
I
am.
want to tell every public officer, we're extremely serious about transforming the public service, but that transformation comes with you. It comes with the idea that you deserve to be better than you are right now, working conditions, I will dare say better compensation, and most importantly, looking after your overall wellness and being. That comes from the bottom of my heart, but the governor has the same sentiments, the ministers who I speak to, and also the premier. So, retirees, thank you very much for paving the way for what we've done over the past 10, 15, 25 years. Persons who will continue to work extremely hard, thank you very much, and let's have an amazing Public Service Week 2019. Thank you.
Reminder of the importance of going green. Yes, the private sector eye is fixed on you. Use this attention to do good as you are being emulated. It is true that while much good has been accomplished by humans' pursuit of knowledge and control, it is also true that we have also placed our survival in jeopardy. And the result is the earth will mourn and the heavens grow black. I didn't say it, it's right in the Bible. We are seeing this progressively by the increased intensity of destruction, by natural disasters. Catastrophic consequences will come if our lifestyles are not changed. Going green, as I said before, is a lifestyle change. In fact, it's an excellent initiative that many countries and multinational corporations have adopted. So in closing, let us use the then and the knowledge of the how to help to do our part in molding our ecological future. I wish you every success this week and beyond. I also congratulate those officers who are being honored for their 10, 25, and 35 years of public service. You are well deserving of it. May God continue to bless you in your endeavor as gatekeepers, leaders, and stewards of creation. And your theme, Going Green for Public Service Week 2019.
So now let's put our hands together collectively for those persons who have served 35 years. What a milestone. It's a rewarding job, I can tell you about it. 25 years. This is a quarter of a century. It's a long time to be serving in one institution, but it is worthwhile, right? continue the 10 years of service, we ask Deputy Governor Mr. Archer, could you please come? And these are the persons who have given 10 years of service. We want to thank you so much for the 10 long years that you've rendered, and we encourage you to give another 10, another 15, etc., etc. Gabriel Letsom. We've come to the end of our presentations, and we want you to continue to give of your best. Try your best to catch my ears. I've passed 40. God bless you.
We now have the words of encouragement by our Director of Human Resources, Mrs. Michelle Donovan Stevens.
Just a few words to again say congratulations to our public officers, not just for your years of service, but committed years of service. This is one of the most special moments of Public Service Week when we can recognize you and celebrate you. 148 officers were in the categories of 10, 25, and 35 years. And that's a many a mornings, as my Tanti would say. So there's a few things that I just want to acknowledge. I recognize that you're not just taskmasters, masters. Over the last week, I was able to have a conversation with a few officers who shared, one, an educator, who was asking for opportunities for graduates. And that, to me, says a public officer that cares. Another officer, immigration officer, shared with me He understands his role as protecting the borders and immigration laws and ensuring enforcement, but he was also quite mindful of tourism and its impact on the territory. That's a public officer who is quite aware. And lastly, an officer shared with me how there's times that they need to come in early from the sister islands and catch the boat to make sure they're here and to deliver the quality of service to public officers. That again says to me, that's an officer who is committed. So I thank you not just for your years of service, but for being committed, for being loyal, for being innovative. I leave you with closing words from the former Deputy Governor, late Mr. Elton George's CMG OBE in June 2015 when he left the public service as a commissioner of complaints commissioner. He said, "I hope I fought a tolerable fight and kept the faith and will be remembered as a nuisance who meant well. Continue the struggle to raise standards in the public service for the cause that needs assistance, against the wrong that needs resistance, for the future in the distance and the good that we can do." Colleagues, we thank you for the good that you do and will continue to do. God bless you.
Sound of warriors, sound of victory, sound of number one.
It's really, really exciting to be here, to really continue discussion about greening the public service, being part of the wider community and taking it rather seriously. And I think it's the foundation for where we'll go for the public service, hopefully trying to set the tone for the rest of the BVI.
Very nice, very nice. Thank you so much. And make sure you get your free seeds and free samples of everything here.
Right away, right away.
Pauline, good evening, everyone. And welcome to this year's Retirees Dinner. It's great to be here. So we just want to welcome each and every one of you here tonight, any heads of departments that are here tonight, and of course, you, our special guests, the retirees that are being honored tonight. We welcome all of you, and we hope that you have a wonderful evening tonight. And if there's anything that we can do, Charlene and I, to make your time here at this special dinner tonight exceptional, do let us know, and we will do our very best to meet your demands.
So as we move on with the program for this evening, I'd like to now call His Excellency the Governor, Augustus J.U. Jaspert.
This is a great evening, and it's one that I'm absolutely delighted to host and to celebrate and to enjoy with all of you. There's something about being a public officer, that when you retire looking sharp. You retire, and we shouldn't always celebrate being proud, but actually you retire being proud. You retire with a smile on your face. And you retire knowing that what you did was to help people. Quite simply, that's what you did throughout your lives. And so the people in this room, this is something that is bigger than just any individual here. It's about the territory. It's about what you've done for the territory in all of your careers. And when I look down at the profiles or the jobs that people have done, you've kept people safe, you've educated people, you've built our territory's institutions to make it even more self-determining, even more self-governing over the time. You've kept people healthy. You've developed businesses and helped them to grow. You've kept our ports and our airports open. You've dealt with some of the most difficult people in society, and you've either made sure they can't harm people, or you've supported them to turn their lives around, and sometimes both. You've done some of the hardest things. Collect the money. Make sure that everyone gets paid. Make sure that the territory is fiscally sustainable and actually doesn't go back ever to a position where it's in grant and aid, but actually the public service is at the heart of that, is about growing the territory, taking it forward all the time. So this actually is about the territory and the role that you've played in every single different aspect of public service life is something that is absolutely incredible. And I won't declare how old I am. I feel older every single day, which is actually true as well, because everybody can say that. As a slight anecdote, when I last went back to London for a trip, and I don't know if anyone's been through Gatwick Airport, they have, in London, you have your passport scanner. And it's a e-gate, as they call it. So you no longer have a person at the desk. You just scan your passport, the gate opens up, and you go through. I went there and scanned my passport. It's only 2 years old, my passport. Scanned my passport, the computer said no. Scanned it again, the computer said no. Scanned it a third time, the computer said no. Finally, a man taps me on the shoulder and says, "You need to come to the special desk." I go to the special desk, he scans my passport, he looks on his screen, turns the screen round to me, the screen says no. So I say, "What's the problem?" He says, "Well, your picture doesn't look like you." I say, "What do you mean?" I said, "It's only 2 years old." He says, "No, the picture doesn't look like you." And then he says, "Look, here's the picture. Here's the screen. We have a special tool. We can zoom in." He says, "Your eyes have got darker. Your nose has dropped. Your hair has gone. Your chin's got worse." Everything about it. He said, "What do you do?" I said, "Well, I'm a public officer." He said, "Ah." Still didn't let me through. He said, but where are you a public officer?" I said, "Oh, well, actually, I'm a public officer, but I'm a governor, is my role. I'm the governor of the British Virgin Islands." He goes, "Oh, you've had a bad 2 years." He said to me. "The computer still says no, but for you, I'm going to let you through." So he let me through. So you're doing better than me, because if you reach retirement age, and not just a computer, but the smiles on your face say, yes, you are doing better than me, and I celebrate that. So tonight I just want us to have a fun evening, because this is about you, it's about the territory, it's about all that you achieved.
It's not the end of your public service career, because actually once a public service servant or officer, always a public officer, because it's not just a career, it's a calling, it's a purpose.
She has a deep regard for the history and traditions of the Virgin Islands and loves to share what she learns and knows with others. She is the proud mother of a daughter.
Decided to include my love of BVI sayings, some of which you heard earlier, with what I hope is practical advice that you can use. I provide for you tonight an answer to the question. Here's the question. After retirement, what do you do with life? My answer is simple. Here we go. LIVEIT. Live it. In some cases, continue to live life. In other cases, start living it again. And in what I hope are very few cases, finally start to live life with you in mind. What do I mean? The L, learn. In the BVI, we like to say, studiation beat education, but starvation beat them all. Don't starve your brain, and don't deprive yourself of new opportunities. Now that you won't be under the tyranny of work hours, challenge yourself to learn new skills and practices, to do the things that you've always wanted to do, but could never find the time or resources to do them. Take up a new hobby or activity. And I would especially encourage you to learn some of our local practices that are slowly dying, like straw work and fish pot building and things like those. It would do your brain well to learn new things. One source I consulted indicates that your brain still has an astonishing ability to learn and master many new skills, whatever your age. So as you retire, keep learning. I, inspire. In the BVI, we like to say, the older the ram, the stiffer the horn. You all have a wealth of experience in the public service and in life in general. You all have developed some stiff horns, so inspire others to develop theirs. Leave a legacy. Continue to blaze a trail for someone else to follow. This has nothing to do with being loud and or popular. Inspiration isn't about loudness or popularity. I've heard stories about humble people in our community who inspired others by just living honestly and helping. People like Mrs. Rosalind Penn from the East and Mrs. Valerie Thomas from Seacows Bay. They inspired many by simply being an example. So live so that when your days are ended, the people who really know you can say, there goes a life well lived, a life I want to emulate. Speak up for fairness and behave in ways that honor the people who live around you. Inspire your children and grandchildren, your nieces and nephews, the youth in your community to be better because they see you trying to be better. To me, that is what inspiration is. V, volunteer. In the BVI, we like to say, hand come, hand go. In other words, what you put into this world is what you get out of it. Volunteer in your community, especially with the young people and elders, and you will gain much from it. We like to say that time is money, and we often want money for our time. But I believe that time well spent is better than money. I can think back on several persons who took the time and volunteered and poured into my life, and today I am better for it. And I'm sure that many of you can say the same thing. So be that for someone else. Mentor, encourage, train, share what you know. Yes, the young people these days may think and behave differently from you. But if you are honest, in your youth, the elders at that time may have described you in the same way. And the reality is that we cannot afford to not volunteer time with our young people. They need us, and we need them. Volunteering time and resources with our elders can also be a mutually beneficial exercise. They have so much to share and we can gain so much from them. And we also have to keep in mind that we too will be elders soon. And we won't appreciate being nickeled and dimed for every single thing. Give of yourself, volunteer. Our community will be better for it. What letter are we on now? E. Good. E. Enjoy your life, man. Enjoy your life. Mr. Elmore Stout used to sing a song that included the following. Enjoy yourself. It's sooner than you think. Enjoy yourself while you're still in the pink. My friends, while you are still in the pink of life, enjoy yourselves. Stop sending up your blood pressure and making yourself a cancer risk by taking everything so seriously and stressing yourself out. Yes, you have bills to pay and obligations to meet, but life is way more than that. No one lays on their deathbed and says, I wished I had worked hard and stressed myself out more. No, instead they say things like, I wish I had enjoyed myself more. I wish I had spent more time with my loved ones. I wish I had taken more trips to the places I wanted to see. I wish I had participated more in the activities that brought me joy. Enjoy the life that God has given you. Time is fleeting. Nothing is promised. Enjoy your life. We're on the 8th now. I. Invest your resources wisely. My grandmother used to say, "'Tis who got a watch, got to know the hour." You know what you have worked for, and you know how you need to use it to sustain you. Maintain your sensible financial practices and invest your resources wisely. Eliminate debt as much as you can. Keep your expenses low. Reserve something on the side for wet day. And don't let people who didn't work for what you have use it and abuse it for you. Keep your head on and invest your resources, especially your financial resources, wisely. T. Take care of yourself. For God's sake, take care of yourself. In the BVI, we like to say, what go over horseback, come under his belly. Simply put, you cannot escape the consequences of your actions. When bad eating, poor sleep, too much alcohol, no exercise go over your horseback, an unhealthy body, chronic diseases, poor quality of life, and premature death coming under your horse belly. Long life is not promised, but it is your responsibility to do what you can to have as many healthy years as possible. The question was, what do you do with life after retirement? My answer was simple: live it. L? What was the L for? Learn. The I was for inspire. The V, volunteer. The E, enjoy your life. The I, invest wisely. And the T, take care of yourself. I hope that this or some part of it has been useful to you. Thank you for listening.
On social media, all over, there was the race. that I talked about and I bragged about. I told your Warriors, there's no way that their minister will beat me. And I felt that until I started the race. And I quickly realized I was in for a hard time. But it was a good time and an exciting time. I have started to practice for next year. So that next time we can do the same thing again. But really, it is amazing to see what you did as a team. When I came and watched you for the march, the ceremony to the field, and I saw the red mini moke, I said, a whole mini moke. But it is really, this is why we have Public Service Week, to see, of course, persons come together, the camaraderie, and you have a bright and amazing example of what we want to do for the rest of the future of the public service. I am extremely proud, PS, Minister, Team Captain. I want you to try and win again the next year.
Firstly, let me congratulate you, Deputy Governor, for your leadership of the public service and for leading this great initiative to create camaraderie among the public servants, to engender that spirit of cooperation, that spirit of competition, which pushes us to be better than we are, to push us to the limit and to do our best, which is, of course, I know you're a man of great inspiration, and you have these great inspirational events, so I know the analogy wouldn't be lost to you. Some of the competitive events, the type of lessons we can take to the public service itself. I want to thank Lynette Rapsat and the Ministry of Natural Resources and Labor for doing their part for organizing the week. And I certainly have to recognize the Warriors. Warriors, give us you did an excellent job. You represented, you were competitive in every competition. And we're not going to try to keep the trophy next year. Next year we're keeping the trophy.